Probably each of you has encountered screamers in games, movies, or simply through a link on the internet. But I think it's worth explaining. A screamer is a type of show content based on the element of surprise designed to scare the viewer. It is a cruel prank on the internet where you first watch a video or play a game, and then a horror jumps out. There are enough examples to trace their evolution. This video will perform all the popular screamers of several generations of the internet. Monkey on Their Backs is a social advertisement against heroin, created by the National Information Center on Drug Abuse in the early 1970s. The advertisement begins with a wind-up toy monkey banging cymbals, and a little girl's voice says, "People who are addicted to heroin have a monkey on their back. Isn't that cute?" Suddenly, the wind-up monkey stops playing as the camera approaches its face, which suddenly switches to a still image of a real monkey screaming at the viewer.
They say people addicted to heroin have a monkey on their back. Isn't that cute?
This video is considered the very first video ever created that could be called a screamer. Although this term was coined in the 2000s when pranks like Kikia began to appear. VD is a famous Russian television company whose old logo scared thousands of children in the 1990s. Even before the term existed, the company itself was founded in 1987, but the logo appeared only in 1990. The story of the logo is this. Vladislav Listyev's wife, Albina, who worked at the Museum of the Orient, brought an exhibit from there. The exhibit was a mask of the ancient Chinese philosopher Go Xian. This face became the prototype for the television company's logo. In 2017, the television company's name was changed to Vigital. This is due to the revival and active promotion of the television company on the internet. This scareware program, distributed on Amiga computers, is generally considered the first scary program of its kind. The program was developed by Patrick Evans in 1990 and could be freely distributed, and the source code was available from the author. When Nightmare was launched, it ran in the background, and every 5 minutes, it changed the entire computer screen to an image of a skull with blood on its teeth and a bullet hole. What's Wrong with This Picture is a well-known internet screamer created by J. Bill McCarthy, originally posted on his personal website JBill in February 2002. Since then, many copies have appeared on the internet, and they are an example of an early email prank. It is a flash animation disguised as an ordinary stock photo of a dining room. The viewer is then asked to find something wrong with it. However, there are actually no errors in the image itself. After about 30 seconds, the screen abruptly changes to a close-up of an eyeless woman with a wide mouth, accompanied by a scream. The screamer face itself was taken from the GT Images website and was created by photographer Gandhi Vasan in 1998, inspired by Edvard Munch's painting, The Scream. At one time, the screamer became so popular that on April 22, 2002, it actually managed to get into the New York Times in an article with a short interview with J. Bill, who describes both his website and the screamer he created solely for the purpose of scaring my girlfriend. Kikia is a flash screamer uploaded to a now-defunct Taiwanese Kima forum in January 2002 by a user with the nickname NetSpooky. It is mistakenly believed that this is the very first flash screamer. The first part of the video begins with a boy sitting on a lawn looking at the sky. 2 lines of Chinese text appear. How long have you not looked at the sky and dreamed? Then the view changes and we see a boy walking along a city street lined with buildings. At the top, 2 lines of text also appear. Walking down the street, I saw. And after a couple of seconds, a flashing screenshot of an enemy ghost from the video game Project Zero with white eyes appears, accompanied by a loud scream. After the scream, yellow text, Kikia, appears. In April 2005, a German beverage company called K-Fi released 9 to 20-second television commercials as part of their Wide Awake campaign to advertise their energy drink. These commercials were heavily criticized for their content, with many considering them highly uncommercial and frightening to the viewer. The commercials consist of peaceful scenes, such as a car driving down a hillside to soothing music. However, at some point, the scene in the commercial is briefly interrupted by a zombie screaming at the camera, followed by the company's slogan and product, accompanied by an accelerated heartbeat. K-Fi received numerous complaints from its viewers, and soon after, the advertisements stopped airing on television. Some people say that in some other cases, a warning message was displayed before the advertisement played, informing small children, easily frightened people, and people with heart conditions not to watch the footage. However, this has not been proven. The advertisement also spawned many references. For example, in the cartoon series The Amazing World of Gumball, an episode called The Internet parodies the K-Fi commercial. In one of the scenes, Gumball and Darwin randomly browse web pages, and among these videos, they come across a K-Fi car advertisement.
Huh? There's no ghost in this video. It's just a car driving down a...
Scary Maze Game is a flash game created in October 2004 by the game's developers, programmers Jeremy Winterode. This flash prank masquerades as a simple maze game in which the player must use the mouse cursor to move a small dot through the maze. On the start screen, there's a note informing the player that the goal of the game is to complete all 4 levels, while the player cannot touch the walls. However, there are only 3 levels in the game. During the 3rd level, a screamer pops up on the screen, the world-renowned visage of Regan MacNeil from the 1973 horror film The Exorcist. The game was uploaded to Jeremy Winterode's non-existent personal website, jeremywinterode.com. In 2005, Scary Maze truly exploded on the internet, with hundreds of reactions on YouTube racking up millions of views, numerous references in films, and the right to be considered the most recognizable screamer in the entire history of the internet. Ghost Caught on Tape is a screamer video uploaded by Steven Zaransky, a user on YouTube under the nickname Swirled, on October 1st, 2006. As of now, the video has garnered over 77 million views. The original video begins in a dark room with a rocking chair in the middle. The camera footage is grainy, and a night vision filter is used. Near the end, the rocking chair begins to move on its own. Immediately after this, a screamer appears, again with Regan MacNeil's face. According to the author, his wife was in the role of the ghost, with the screamer face superimposed. Bonchondong is a viral Korean webcomic about a dead woman with a bloodied face and red eyes. Bonchondong is also an official unit of the Seoul district of South Korea. This story is based on real events and is so named because it occurred in an apartment building in the area. Its name, Bonchondong, means keeping the heavens. This comic became known for its animated screamers, unlike the usual ones.
Pass her by. Oh my god, my fucking leg. They're screaming from far away.
Unfortunately, the comic is no longer working due to the complete shutdown of Flash, but you can find it on the expanses of YouTube. Okay, that's it from Spookify. Remember to subscribe, and I'll catch you later.